All right. Welcome to the class. Today we are going to work on opening one more time our chest and our shoulders, and we will go a little bit deeper into hollowbacks, which hollowbacks actually can help you to open these two parts of your body. But they can also make it much harder. So we'll go deeper than ever today. There are two things that I want to focus on. It's really keeping the external rotation in our arms, and then trying to open the top of our spine or the upper part. So we will start in this supported version of Matsyasana because it's already a hollow back, and you can do a different setup today. You can go with the other block on the second level and have it along the line of the spine, and the other block can be used for the head. You can also remove it if it bothers you. You try to have or place the block so you can sit the hips down all the way, and this is always the case. And I am wearing a lot of clothes, so I think it accidentally disconnected. All right. So I have no idea what was possible, what was heard, or what wasn't heard. But you are trying to lie on your blocks. And I have the other block. Yeah, I would move it a little bit higher, Masha, because this looks painful. But to each their own. And the other block I have underneath my hips. And try to allow yourself to somehow get comfortable. So the longer you stay, the easier it should become. A few bigger breaths. Slowing down the exhales. And then focus on squeezing your legs towards each other a little bit. We'll work on that as well, a little bit more. But already now, bring the feet all the way together, the knees together. Try to relax your jaw. And soften the shoulders as well. Okay, we're going to come a little bit higher as well. So bring your hands next to your hips, turning the palms facing down. Step the feet a little bit more forward. The knees are still bent, and then try to lift up, pressing the elbows, the palms down. So you can sit. You sit onto your block and then place the second block onto this third level, placing it fairly far away from you, and then you have to slide the hips a little bit further back so you slowly roll onto your sacrum and wiggle the other block right into the middle of your spine. And then you can try to slowly lower. Your head will probably hang. If it's not comfortable, you can try to grab behind your head and hold it here. And it's a balancing act as well, so be careful. Take a few breaths. And then very slowly, carefully, use your hands to lift yourself up all the way, sitting away from your block. Good. Sit into your Vajrasana onto your heels, or option to go all the way to Virasana, sitting in between your heels. And the knees are together, so you can squeeze them in towards each other. Then reach your arms forward in front of you, connect all the fingers, and then bring your arms all the way up. And just try to make yourself really tall, growing through your fingertips. And exhale, reach a little bit more back with your arms. Try to squeeze your arms towards each other. Elbows are straight. So really straightening the elbows, reaching up, reaching the hands behind your ears. Notice how the head helps. So there is this natural kind of way of bringing the head forward so the arms can go back and the chest will puff up. Try to bring your ribs a little bit in as you reach your arms back. One more breath, reach up. Lift your shoulder blades, exhale, reach back, squeeze your arms, elbows straight, and then release your arms. Move your wrist a little bit, a few times. And we'll interlace the fingers, turn the palms facing away from you. Elbows go as straight as possible, and reach your arms up. And then go back again one more time. Now the arms are a little bit differently rotated. Lift still the shoulder blades up, and then reach your arms back. Chest or bottom ribs come in towards the back. Elbows straighter, inhale. And exhale, release. Then interlace the fingers the other way. Press the palms forward one more time. Inhale, this time we're going to take our gaze with us. So you look towards your hands and then lift your chest, bring it into a back bend as well. Reach your arms back and press with your feet down, squeezing the knees in towards each other. Inhale and exhale, round into your cat pose. Chin comes in. One more time like that. Inhale, you reach up. You puff the chest up, you squeeze your legs, pressing the feet down. Reach back, 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 and exhale, round. Allow the neck to bend all the way, and then release your hands, shake your arms. Grab, actually not, don't grab your blocks. Anahatasana. So we're going to come onto into our tabletop. Coming onto your fingertips, placing the knees right underneath the hips, the feet as wide as your hips as well, and walk forward, creating a long line. Try to inhale, you reach forward, and exhale, you can dip the chest down all the way. Inhale again, you walk, 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 forward, 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 and exhale, you dip the chest. Notice if your feet wants to go towards each other. Try to instead do the opposite, as if you wanted the thighs to squeeze in towards each other. And do the same thing with your upper arms. So can you bring your upper arms in front of your face? And then imagine you're trying to bring them in closer towards each other. Take one more breath, and your chin can be on the ground. Try to relax your forehead. And one more. And exhale. Try to come with your chest closer towards the ground. And then inhale, lift up. rounding a little bit, and exhale, step the palms underneath the shoulders. Now palms will come flat. Inhale into your cow pose, into the back bend. Roll the shoulders back, and exhale into the cat pose. Chin can come again to your chest. Inhale into your cow. Exhale, round into the cat. Spread your fingers. Inhale. Even turn the fingers slightly more out. Rolling the shoulders back away from your neck. And exhale. Now the shoulders are squeezing in towards each other as your chin comes to the chest. You then tuck your toes into the mat and lower the elbows down. Still squeezing the elbows in towards the midline. So it's all about how do you bring everything towards the midline. You can have the palms together or flat on the ground. Press the elbows down. Lift the knees up into a variation of your dolphin position. And then press with your forearms. Try to bring your chest towards your thighs, the thighs towards your chest. Keeping pressing with your whole forearms. So press with your elbows, with your palms equally. And then step your feet 5 centimeters closer. Take one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, slowly step the feet back. Lower the knees down. This was a little bit hardcore for beginning of the class. Grab your blocks. Place them in front of you. You can create kind of a wall of the blocks. And you're going to put your elbows and your forehead on. It's more the upper arms and your forehead on the blocks. And then breathe here. Hopefully your blocks are more even than mine. One block is a little bit taller than the other. Okay, and then slowly lift yourself up into your tabletop position. You come into not upward facing, into your cow pose, cow tilt. Inhale here. One more time, notice if your feet are trying to squeeze in towards each other, and instead use the inner thighs. And then start leaning forward to stretch your wrist, keep your elbows straight. And exhale, round the spine and press back. You can tuck your toes and sit back. Pressing a little bit into the toes. Inhale again, come forward. Arch the spine, lean, trying to keep the elbows for now straight. And exhale, press back, round. One more time. This time we're going to start bending the elbows, but still leaning forward. Elbows bend a little bit. And then press back. And sit back. And round. And then lift your knees, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Now open this. Por gusto. Take a breath there. You can bend the knees one at a time. Come high onto your tippy toes and walk forward all the way to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. You can grab your blocks and you can come a little bit higher, even creating a little bit of arch in the upper back, reaching the chest forward. Exhale, fold. Feel the thighs and the belly squeezing in. One more time. Inhale, lift halfway. Move the shoulders back, lean a little bit more forward. And exhale, release. And bend the knees, release your arms, and roll up slowly. reaching the arms above the head at the end. And exhale, release. Grab your block and place it in between your thighs. We will do these sun salutations with squeezing the block. The feet are going as close together. In my case, they can already touch, but it might not be your case. Try to imagine that you're sending the block back. As you inhale, reach your arms up. You can connect the palms, squeezing the forearms together, and the block is being sent back, back, back. So that's already Hollowback variation. And exhale, fold. Try to release the head, make it heavy. Halfway lift. And exhale, palms come flat. You bend your knees and you tip your toe back into a plank position. And then lower the hips and send the block higher, front ribs in. Inhale, long neck. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Create this shape of what is the animal? I always forget in English. A little wobbly, tiny thing. Bring the top of the feet onto the mat, and then roll or slide with your hips all the way onto the ground. Press the pubic bone down, or do your best. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, and exhale, release, forehead comes down. Inhale, baby cobra, hover the palms, and exhale, release. Now bring your arms forward over your head, and inhale, cobra, but reach your arms up, squeezing the forearms in towards each other, and then release, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees. You can do small steps, you can do a few hops or one hop to the front. Half lift, inhale, exhale, fold, head is heavy. Bend the knees slowly, a little bit, with your chest leading. Lift up, arms reach up. Block is going back, your heart reaches up, and exhale, release. One more time like that, just a little bit faster. Inhale, reach up, send the block back. Exhale, fold, lean over the soles of your feet. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, little steps towards your plank. Make a long line from your heels to the top of the head. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Totally cancel the line. It doesn't exist. Arms forward slowly. Roll forward, arms forward. Reach your arms, the chest up. And exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Big inhalation there. Exhale. Inhale one more time. And exhale, the head is heavy and you're still reaching with your arms, still squeezing those forearms in towards each other. Lift your heels, look forward, inhale. You might want to find a little bit of roundness in your upper back this time as you hop. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, folding. And then come up. Your knees can bend a little bit. Reach your heart up. Send the block back. And exhale, release. Release your block as well. Feet will go together. We don't have the block, but you're still going to imagine that the block is there. Reach your arms up. We're going to cross the thumbs, and the palms are going to be together. You're squeezing the forearms in, and you're trying to send the arms behind your head. Lift your chest, and then exhale, bring your front ribs in. Send the block back behind you. Inhale, reach, and exhale, side bend to the right side. Trying to not lean with the hips too much at the beginning. Inhale, lift up. And by lifting, I mean reach up. Exhale to the left, to the left. Inhale, reach up. Change the way you're crossing your thumbs and exhale to the right. Find this block that is not in between your thighs and send it back. Inhale into the left ribs and exhale. Go with your hips a little bit more to the left. Inhale, lift up. Reach up, elbows straight, palms together. Exhale to the other side. You can also look up. Inhale into your right rib, send the invisible block behind you in between your thighs. Exhaling, send the hips to the right side. Inhale, lift up, reach high, and exhale, release your arms. Same but standing, back bend. Inhale, reach your arms up. Again, crossing your thumbs. And we are going to think that we have the block in between the thighs, sending it back as the heart is reaching up. Keep the chin slightly at your throat, and you're trying to look up towards where your palms are pointing. Every inhalation lifts your heart, and every exhalation you start sending your arms a little bit more back. Stay for 2, even more with the hips back. And 1. And inhale, tuck your tailbone and lift, reach up. Forearms squeeze in and exhale, release your arms. Move your shoulders up, back, and down. And then do a few circles with your head to one direction and then to the other direction. We can't really change that our shoulders and the neck are connected, but we're going to do the opposite at the end to hopefully balance what we did with this class. Bend your knees, feet are still together, reach your arms up. Now we'll grab opposite elbow, so it's a little bit different rotation in our arms. Sit a little bit lower, sending the hips back, and then try to bring your chest up, still creating same shape of, I will remember the name of the animal by the end of this class. It's like a worm, but you know, the caterpillar. Is it caterpillar? Inhale here, and then sit a little bit lower. Arms are going back, reach your heart forward, and then exhale, fold, release your arms. Head is heavy. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. We'll bring the arms with us. Grab opposite elbows the other way that we just did. And inhale, lift. Try to lift your elbows. You can bend your knees like in chair pose. Exhale, the front ribs come in. So we are not in a back bend anymore. Bend your knees even more. And then start lifting your arms, opening those front ribs. Squeeze in between your thighs. And then imagine you're trying to lift something heavy with your knees as you push your chest forward. Inhale. And exhale, fold again. Release your arms, release your neck. Bring your palms flat, look forward, and exhale, step both feet back into your plank position. Breathe in here. Exhale, caterpillar, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale here, try to bring your shoulders further away. And exhale, untuck the toes. Slowly roll like that caterpillar into your baby cobra. Breathe in there and exhale, chin to the chest. Round through a cat pose. Come into downward facing dog. And take a break. Knees will come down. Child's pose, option to use one more time your block. If you have a bolster, this is actually much nicer with a bolster, to have your upper arm and your forehead on something. It's not the most relaxing variation since your arms are over the head, but you have to do. Big breath in, exhale. Try to spread the tongue in the mouth as you breathe in. And as you exhale, send all the energy down towards the ground. And slowly come out from your child's pose. Find your downward facing dog. We're going to, from the down dog, lift the heels up, stretching the toes, bending the knees even more, and then start pivoting the heels to the right, to the right, to the right, coming onto the outer side of the right foot. And then feel the side bend on the right side of the body, so the hips are sticking back, and then your right hip, right shoulder are squeezing in towards each other. And then come back up, coming with the heels up, the feet are together, bend the knees, and then pivot the feet to the left, to the left, to the left. The feet can stay together. You're trying to press with the left hand a little bit more than the right. Sit the hips more back, and you're trying to connect the left shoulder and your left hip. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, downward facing dog. Relax your head. Bring the feet a little bit wider. So now we will have the space for the feet to stay apart and coming onto the outer side of your right and inner side of the left foot. Inhale, bend the knees. Now they are separate. And exhale, pivot to the right, coming onto the right outer edge, left inner edge of the foot. Press with your right hand, squeeze the right shoulder, right hip together. And then try to press as you extend your right knee. If your down dog was very small, you might need to step the feet a little bit more to the back. Coming into Vashisthasana on the right side with a side bend. So the right side of the body, right hip, right shoulder are still pressing again into each other. And then bend your left knee or both knees, pivot back to the center. Downward facing dog, head is heavy. And come to the other side. Inhale, bend the knees, pivot to the left, to the left, to the left. Then start squeezing the left hip, left shoulder, left elbow is straight as you're pressing, and then you try to extend your left leg all the way, turning to the side. Okay, inhale here, and exhale, bend the knees. Come back to the center. Take a little break in your Vajrasana, moving your wrists. So you're going to just pivot all the way to the flip dog. And what I want you to notice is what your right hand is doing, although it's already hard to notice what everything else is doing. But what's going to happen is we are starting with the hands here, and I want you to start moving out with the arm just a little bit. Maybe it's 90 degrees to the right. And if you have a surface that it doesn't slide, you need to do it a little bit before. So my mat is really slippery. It's nice to slide stuff on it. But if I didn't have that, if I would be on the ground, I can turn the right palm already slightly more out as I bend my knees and I press, 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 and the left foot will lift eventually. And I still keep pressing, and I try to bend the left knee, stepping it back, and then lifting the hips up, and then coming back to the center. You can bend the knee a little bit. Okay, and then do the second side. Bend the knees, and move slowly, turning the left palm out, out, out. And then trying to press with the left hand, the right foot will lift, and then turning all the way around, right foot could step back, bending the right knee, and then coming back. You can bend the left knee a little bit as you come back, and take a break. One more time, moving your wrists. We'll do it one more time. The wrists, hopefully the wrists are going to be okay for you guys. I can already feel them. And this is because we're really trying to use that one hand to press quite a lot of body weight into the side bend. So we're really using it a lot. You don't have to rotate it that much, as I said. I think we can stay less, but we will work on that a little bit later. So come again one more time, and we will step this time forward. Bring your feet into a larger, longer down dog if necessary. Bend your knees, pivot to the right side, press with your right hand. Try to keep your weight on your right leg. So your right hand is helping you to bring the weight away from it. And then you pivot, 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 squeeze the knees or the thighs and the arms towards each other as you flip your dog. Still your thighs are sending that block back. Your upper arms are squeezing in. Then you can look down towards your left hand. Push with your right hand. Lift your right ribs a little bit higher. Good, and then look down. Come to the side plank. Step the left foot all the way to the front. And use your left hand to help you, to help the left leg. Nice. Virabhadrasana, 2 back heel spins down. Inhale, reverse, left palm flips. Bring your hips low, side bend. And exhale, come back. Hips come lower. Extend your left leg. Trikonasana. You can grab a block here. Pressing in from the outside of your left foot. Your feet can come closer. Left hand reaches forward. Make yourself long. Find your block. Press into the block with your left hand to find a nice opening, extension in your whole chest area. And then bring your right hand onto the right side ribs. Notice if they're sticking out. Can you push them in? It's going to almost like lift your head a little bit. And then try to use, keep that in your Trikonasana. Lift your kneecaps. Right hip is rotating out. You're pressing with the left inner foot. Inhale. And exhale, look down, bend your left knee, reverse your warrior, wrapping the left forearm, upper arm rather, towards your face. And exhale, come with both hands down, step the left foot back, and lift your hips up to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or Ashtangasana. Inhale, roll or slide into your cobra. Reach your arms over the head. And exhale, downward facing dog. You can go through a rounded spine. Second side, lift your heels, bend your knees. Pivot to the left. Keep pressing with your left hand. You're trying to bring the weight to the back. And the left side of your ribcage is lifting up away from the ground. Right foot steps back. Your inner thighs are still squeezing in. Adjust your distance. If you're feeling weird, maybe you need to slide the left foot further to the back. Arms are squeezing in. Nice. Thighs are squeezing in. Inhale. You can look down towards where your right fingers are pointing, and then slowly go into the left side plank, Vashisthasana. Right foot steps all the way to the front. Back heel spins down. Virabhadrasana on your right. Bend your right knee a little bit more. Soften the shoulders. Reverse. Right palm flips. Left hand slides down on the outer side of the left leg. Exhale to your Virabhadrasana. Extend your right leg. Feet a little bit closer. Find your block to help you a little bit. Inhale, right arm reaches forward. A lot of length there. It's the same as we will do just after this. It's still the same principle. And pull up on your right kneecap and try even to imagine that your right thigh is going towards your right side of the chest. And already that might help you to find more length on the right side of the body or not. So you can use your left hand on the left ribs, and if they're sticking out, you bring them in and down. And then you rotate your chest, roll both shoulders down towards your hips, and then revolve the left hip up as you step into the back foot. Right inner side of your foot pressing down. Breathe in. Exhale, look down. Bend your right knee. Make your stance bigger, longer. Inhale, side bend, wrapping the right tricep towards your face. And exhale, palms down, step back. Downward facing dog. You can go through vinyasa. You can also skip it. Nice. And then back. Downward facing dog. Right leg comes up. Breathe in. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Low lunge, use something underneath your left knee, if necessary. Reach your arms up. It's the same principle in your arms. You're squeezing them in, reaching your arms up. Then bring your hips a little bit higher. Press with the front foot, with the back foot. And then imagine you're going against resistance as you bring your hips lower. Even sending the top of the left thigh back behind you, creating softness on the front of the left hip. Right arm comes onto your right thigh. Option to use block or reach also towards the ground. Left arm reaches up, and then exhale, side bend. Trying to reach back rather than collapsing the chest towards the ground. You can look up, inhale, and then find your block, especially on the back leg. Send it back. Inhale, come back up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, come up. And exhale, come up with your hips. Take a little break. You can also fold forward. We'll go for a back bend. Here, it's all about that leg, the back leg. And the back leg wrapping in and pressing the block behind you. Although our focus here is not opening the hips today too much. So keep you can also stay a little bit higher, but it's going to also come into different parts of your spine. But you don't have to go the deepest in how long you are going with your hips. Reach your arms up, create a Kali Mudra interlacing the fingers, releasing your index. Then wrap those triceps in. So you're trying to squeeze your upper arms. Then you reach up. It doesn't have to be your head hanging all the way back. You just look up. And then it's your hard lifting as you point your hands back, back. And you try to stay here and breathe for 2. Every time you inhale, it's longer. Every time you exhale, that's not helping. You reach back. And then inhale, come back up, reach up, exhale, come into half splits. Take a little break, flex your right heel. That was a nice adjustment that you could. Come forward again, one more time. Reach your arms up, press the back foot down, and then twist palms together. Hook your left elbow, trying not to have the hips following you too much. You find your invisible book that you're squeezing with your inner thighs as you push your left elbow into your knee and you twist. Take a breath in, exhale, and then release your arms. Palms come down, stepping into one-legged downward facing dog. Right leg comes up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, roll forward into one-legged plank position. Exhale, left knee down, chest and chin. Right leg lifts. Then bring both knees together, roll forward into your Shalabhasana with arms over the head. You can lift your feet as well. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Second side, left leg comes up. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, reach your arms up into your low lunge. And exhale, bring your hips tiny bit lower. Press the feet strongly into the mat. Create softness on the right front of the hip. And your belly is going away from your left thigh, your chest as well. Left arm comes onto your thigh or next to you. Right arm reaches up. You already feel the stretch on the right side of the body. And exhale, side bend. Breathe in, lift up. Exhale to the right side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, take a little break. You can come into half splits. Trying to find length at the neck, especially here, wherever you are, just how low can you push those shoulders. And then return back towards the front. Find a position for your back leg, back foot. Reach your arms up. Kali Mudra, palms will come together. Wrap your back thigh in, and then you lift with your heart. Exhale, start pointing back. And it's more important to lift that heart than to reach back. For one more breath. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Half splits. As you come back, flex your left ankle. Come back to the front. Low lunge, reach your arms up. Bring your hips a little bit higher, palms together. Right elbow, left knee. Notice if your right hip is coming down, can you lift it a little bit? Sending the left hip back so you create a length on the left side of the body. And exhale, press that elbow into the knee into the elbow. As you twist. Slowly release. Palms will come down. Take your right toes, left leg comes up. One leg down dog. Inhale. Exhale, front ribs come in. And then you roll into one-legged plank. Exhaling, right knee comes down. You find your cow pose. Left leg is lifting. Inhale, both knees come together. Untake the toes. Roll into your baby cobra. You can lift it into upward facing dog. Didn't do that one. And exhale, downward facing dog. And then take a break. Child's pose. Let's see what we forgot. You didn't forget anything. Wow. Good. Take one more breath. Wherever you are, close your eyes. Feeling everything, and then exhale. Empty. We're going to inhale and fill the heart with a lot of warmth, with a lot of air. And then as you exhale, it goes out from your arms, from your legs. Inhaling into your heart, to the back side of the heart, into the back ribs. And exhale through the skin. The air seeps out. Use your hands next to your knees to lift up. You can stay in Vajrasana. I didn't really try it ever in Virasana, but it's probably as well possible. But yeah, let's stay in Vajrasana. And we're going to need some wall for the next two things that we are going to do. So find a wall, and you need the wall to be not necessarily too stable. If that makes any sense. The bottom of the wall needs to be stable. The top doesn't really matter. The top is just the goal to reach. Let's move this out. You sit all the way close to the wall. You bring your arms up. You stretch up. And exhale, you reach with your arms back behind you. Just tapping the edges of the sides of your palms. So the palms are facing towards each other. If this was easy, you go a little bit more forward. The knees are squeezing in towards each other. Arms reach up. Squeeze those knees. Reach, reach, reach. Squeeze your head with your arms. And then try to tap with your elbows straight. The wall behind you. You inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Heart lifts, tap. And exhale. Release. If it was still easy, move a little bit more forward, or easy if it was doable. So find a challenge for you. We'll go one more time. Now lift your heart as well, trying to keep those thighs rolling down. Tap the wall and try to breathe. Try to keep your elbows straight. You can also look up. One more breath there. And then lift and release. Move your head a little bit. For the next one, grab your blocks. Although we didn't try to open our hips, we did open them. And at the end, first you need them open. You can tilt this in any direction that you like. If you are just starting, the angle is going to be bigger, but you want the blocks to also stay there. You can go, for example, halfway, trying to have the blocks as wide as your shoulders. You lower onto the ground and you come into your wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Press the palms into the blocks. I like to start at the bottom of the blocks and then move up. The feet are as wide as your hips. Come onto the top of the head first, adjust what you need, your feet, your hands. You're still squeezing that block with your inner thighs. And then you try to lift, you try to extend your elbows all the way straight. And then you can press with your legs moving towards the wall. You can walk the palms up, the blocks, and try, if your mat doesn't slide on the ground like mine, to press the chest all the way towards the wall. And then slowly come down, take a break. We'll do that one more time. Nice. You can bring your knees together. Big breath. And bring the palms onto your belly, onto your heart. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Okay, so we'll repeat that, and already here, if it feels good, you are going to work the other direction. So normally we walk the feet in towards the wall, but now we are going to walk the legs away, but mostly you don't have to walk them. You just find where you can have the knees bent and then try to extend. I will show you first. So you come this time with your palms closer, with your wrists closer towards the wall. You lift up and then you press and you try to straighten your legs. Bringing your forearms, your chest eventually closer towards the wall. And then you slowly lower again, down. My mat is still sliding. Having a not a mat that slides helps. If it feels good for your low back, you can bring the feet a little bit closer together, not towards you, yes, but the feet closer towards each other. And even closer if it still feels okay. Okay, and then take a break. Now we have one last thing that we're going to do. You can still work with the wall and working what we were just doing. You can also step outside of the wall and come to the same position. This is going to be good for me because now I don't need my mat is not going to slide. So you lift in the same way. You do the same thing. You try to press towards the front. You can lift your head all the way up. Now when you are not at the wall, the head can lift. You can bring your feet closer towards each other. You can bend your knees, rest, and then you can step the feet a little bit closer, coming with the knees together, and you try to sit down, 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 down. Keeping the elbows straight, you reach forward with your chest, and then you sit down. And then you slowly lower like we did before. So first, straighten your legs. First, just find that the straight knees and press forward. That's step number one. Nice. Then you can bring your feet closer together. Bend your knees. Come onto the tippy toes and step the feet a little bit closer. The knees will come together. Squeeze the knees together. Good, and then reach. First, bring the chest more forward and lift your head. Let's try that. Lift the head all the way to your chest. Come forward a little bit more. Yes. And then sit. Take a breath. Beautiful. Nice. Good. You can again reach forward and then again sit. That's it. And then you sit coming onto the tippy toes. Nice. And then you can release. Taking a break. With your knees together. Palms can again come onto your belly. Give your shoulders a break. Big breath in. Exhaling. All right. Then bring the knees into your chest. Move the knees a little bit right and left. And then come onto a side, rolling onto a side, lifting up. I think that's enough. I wanted also to come into a flip dog and then all the way into wheel pose, but we are skipping that. So we will counter in twist, coming into your tabletop position. Inhale, the right arm comes up. Take a twist here, and exhale, the right arm comes underneath, far, 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 until you can lower your head, your shoulder. You can take a little break here. You can use both your arms to press against the ground, and that's going to lift your left shoulder. Trying to keep your hips the same level. Notice if there is one side of your body longer, can you move that left hip maybe further to the back, a little bit to the right. One more big breath. And then return, left palm presses down, right arm reaches up. So twist on the other side, and then release. And take the left arm up, pressing with your right hand, and exhale. Reach it far, far, far. The other side can feel a little bit stickier after that first twist, so you don't have to go to the deepest. First, notice your hips, your side of the waist. If your right side is getting shorter, send the right hip back and a little bit to the left. And then you can start using your hands to press. So the right shoulder is going to lift. Trying to keep your head relaxed, and big breaths. One more breath. Then the right hand presses down, you lift up, left arm reaches up, and exhale, release the left hand. Child's pose with your knees as wide as the hips. Arms will come beside you now. Taking a big breath all the way down to your pelvic floor. And exhale, make everything heavy. You can move a little bit right and left. You can roll on your forehead to the right, to the left. Slowly use your hands to lift yourself up. Setu Bandhasana or Setu Bandha Sharvangasana, that's the same position. You lower yourself onto the side and then onto the back. Bridge or half bridge position. Arms beside you, feet are next to your sitting bones. You press through the heels, through the soles of your feet. You can lift your toes as well as you roll the spine up, vertebra by vertebra. And even though this is another back bend, it's very different. That's why we are doing it. So you can interlace the fingers behind you, behind your back, pressing the hips up to open the front of the hips and to stretch the arms in this different direction. It should feel like it's very different from what we were doing. You can press the heels more down than the toes, and even imagining that you want to slide the heels towards your hips. The inner thighs are still working though. Inhale and exhale, slowly lower down and taking the shoulders, going vertebra by vertebra as you release all the way down. And then bring your knees towards your chest. One more time, rounding. And then grab your feet or ankles into Happy Baby Ananda Balasana. Now you can feel the stretch from the inner thighs in this half variation of Supta Upavishta Konasana, I guess. So we are going to stretch the right leg to the right, bringing the toes towards the ground on the right side, and then do the other side. Left leg stretches to the left, trying to keep the right side grounded. Reaching the left toes towards. Option to do again one and then this other side, or you do both legs. Going to a place where you feel the stretch on the inner thighs that we were trying to use quite a lot. Softening your shoulders. Softening your jaw. And then slowly release back into your happy baby. Take a breath there. And exhale, release into Apanasana. Knees will come to your chest. And allow yourself to have space behind you for your shoulder stand, which is the last position that we're going to do. And we will go into the variation with legs wide of the shoulder stand as well. Well, it's more like Halasana variation. So you come first into your plow pose, Halasana. There is enough space at the back. Interlace your fingers, come onto the tops of your shoulders. Use a blanket underneath the shoulders if your neck doesn't like this position. I was just watching a few days ago. Try not to look to the sides when you're doing this. Some old video from, I think it was before I was born. And it was Anger demonstrating some positions, just demonstrating, not practicing. And he actually used quite a thick blanket roll underneath his shoulders in these positions. And he could for sure do it without it. So sometimes it's about our ego that we are too lazy to bring that blanket, me included. Try not to look to the side as I said again. And then you can bring your palms onto the low upper back, lifting the legs. And the shoulders stand, walking the hands down towards your shoulder blades. And your neck shouldn't be pressing into the ground. Trying to stand really on the tips of the shoulders. And we're going to lower the legs down behind us. We can go one leg at a time. And we're bringing the legs wider. You have the space. And you can grab your toes with your hands, still trying to balance on the shoulders rather than the neck. The hips are lifting up. Finding your breath. Back into Halasana. Arms can reach back. You can interlace the fingers, coming higher onto the shoulders. Then the knees will come to your forehead or ears. Karnapidasana. And then slowly roll down. Use your hands to help you to come slowly. All right. Fish pose. If you like, palms can come underneath the hips. You can lift your chest into where we started, basically. Taking 2 breaths there. And then slowly lift the head. Find your way into Shavasana. Take a few bigger breaths first. You can breathe in through the nose a few times. Exhaling through the nose or mouth. And go 2 more times. Relaxing the muscles around your eyes, around your cheeks, the back of the jaw. Letting go of any control of the breath. And then notice your thoughts. We were working with one klesha. Kleshas are things that are hindering us. It's the obstacles in life. And one of them, I think there is 5 of them. One of them is abhinivesha, which is fear of change. And abhinivesha is all about us staying stagnant, and that's at the end reflected in our bodies by returning to this kind of folded embryo shape. And what we were doing was somehow the opposite, especially the upper part of our body, going against scrolling up, going against protecting ourselves, or against that kind of posture in our body. So notice your thoughts about, not just right now, but in general in your life outside of this practice, of if you are resisting the change sometimes, which I am doing all the time. Notice where you should be doing something that is not something that you are used to. And if you push it to the side, if you try to avoid it, which is okay. But then when you are forced to change something, notice how it feels. And can you cultivate that kind of feeling of overcoming something? And remembering that when you were maybe forced to do something that you didn't like to do, but at the end it ended up well. And even embracing this kind of going into deep back bends feeling and how it feels afterwards, even if it goes against the grain, against what we usually are trying to do. And then let go just for a few more breaths, letting go of any other thoughts that come up, and come to your breath, noticing the inhale and the exhale. Take a bigger breath. Bring your left hand onto your heart, your right hand above the belly, above the navel, and then breathe into your palms. And then curl up, roll onto a side, and use your hands to lift yourself up. And as you sit down into your Sukhasana, crossing your legs, or Vajrasana, onto your heels, allow the spine to grow and notice how this has that quality of opening of the heart, opening of that space in the front of your shoulders. And grow the head up. And then press with your sitting bones more down. Bringing the palms together and slide them. Create some heat by rubbing the hands against each other. And then bring the palms next to your face. Hover the palms and breathe in. Noticing the smell, the warmth. And then rub again. Going a little bit faster. And bring the palms onto your upper trapezius. Give that upper trap a little massage. You can also hold it there, just using the warmth of your hands. Good. And then bring your hands in front of your heart. Breathe in a little bit. Exhale, bow the head. And then slowly blink your eyes open. And lift your head up. Thank you.